Welcome to the Reading the Classics. Every bookworm knows how difficult the question, "What's your favorite book?" is. But for me, I've always felt like if I really, really had to pick, it would be Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And today, we're reading Pride and Prejudice. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayo and I talk about books, K-dramas and everything in between. So if you enjoyed that, please stay a while. This is a reading vlog. I already finished the whole thing and you know what? I had a lovely time. I was giggling, I was kicking my feet and I had so many thoughts. So I hope you enjoy and I will see you at the end. Let's read volume 3 of Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, so let me catch up on my reading experience with volume 1 and volume 2 because I didn't film it. And I did that we're in September. So I read volume 2 in August and volume 1 in July. So volume 1, I think I've forgotten what I thought. But this is Pride and Prejudice. I always have a good time. But I think this time around I was really struck by a couple of things. So in volume 1, I think I was really struck by Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins is very ridiculous. But I think this time I really found him irritating. Way more than ridiculous. I particularly did not enjoy the I enjoyed it, but I got irritated by that point at that point where he was proposing to Lizzie and the way he just won't take no for an answer and how condescending he was. But I also really think that it's almost on the same level as Mr. Darcy's proposal. I think so. I mean, it's first proposal. We often think, oh, Mr. Collins was just ridiculous and we love Darcy, but he was also very condescending just as much as Mr. Collins was. They both took this high road of you have no other choice, you're supposed to accept me because I am better than you and I am doing a lot better and I'm a man and I have all of these things, almost like she couldn't refuse. And Lizzie felt the same way. She felt that power imbalance. And that is why it is so empowering that she refuses both times. So in volume 1, she refuses Mr. Collins. Also, very interesting in volume 1, we see Charlotte, her best friend, choose to marry Mr. Collins. And in my book club, we're discussing how difficult a decision that must be, but how practical it is that Charlotte actually makes that choice. Because you know what, one of my one of my friends in the book club said, Darcy and Lizzie are living in a storybook, whereas Charlotte is in the real world. Okay, she's the only one living reality because they're gonna fall in love and they're gonna be together and everything's gonna be all right, but it's not gonna be the same for Charlotte. If she did not marry Mr. Collins, she could have been stuck at home, unmarried, poor, you know. She could have been like Miss Bates in Emma, and who wants that? So now that's definitely something that is very interesting and practical this time that I am rereading Pride and Prejudice. Now, what other thing? Also, Mr. Bennet. I think when I was younger, I was a huge Mr. Bennet fan. I really, really liked him. I loved his sarcasm, his wit. I thought it was very good. But now reading it back, oh my goodness, I cannot stand him. He's such a bad father. Oh my goodness, and a horrible husband. Okay, he's a horrible husband, but he's also a terrible father. He makes fun of his young kids. He does not take any accountability. He is almost like Edward Ferrars in Sense and Sensibility, who is neglectful. You have all of this power. You're a man, and you have the ability to change things, even though yes, there are some mistakes and circumstances are not they're not going too well, but you can do something with what you are. And Mr. Bennett chooses not to do that. So he had a bad marriage. But you made the choice, okay? Nobody chose it for you. Nobody. In fact, this reminds me of a TikTok I saw that I actually told my aunt about this. I was discussing this with my aunt, and I was like, "This is exactly what I mean." The person was saying one thing we often forget is that our marriage, a marriage partner, is the only choice we have. You don't get to choose. You don't get to choose who your parents are. You don't get to choose who your siblings are. You don't get to choose who your relatives are. You don't get to choose who your kid is. But you do get to choose who your spouse is. And so, please make that choice wisely. And a lot of people do not. A lot of people do not do that. They just get caught up and they never think it through. Because why would you, when you have the one choice, the one time you have a choice, why would you do the wrong thing? Look, I stand by that because I too am not gonna be chosen wrongly. Okay, like yes, there's a lot of things that you have to consider, and sometimes you get caught up. You're young, blah blah blah. But if you think with your head, then you might make a better choice. But Mr. Bennett, for reasons known to him, already made the wrong choice. Then do better. Okay, like he wouldn't show his wife affection. He wouldn't show his kids affection. He wouldn't take charge of the home. He wouldn't curb her excesses. And that is exactly why Mrs. Bennet resorts to all these theatrics, because she knows that if she doesn't, he's gonna ignore her. Yeah, no, he just buries his head in the sand and he acts like nothing matters. And he's so rude and so cruel to his kids. I mean, the younger kids. He likes Lizzie, but only Lizzie. Even Jane, he makes fun of her when she gets heartbroken in volume 2. He makes fun of her and he doesn't take it seriously enough. Because if he does, he might have been able to stop Lydia from her fate. I just felt like that's such a horrible thing to be a father that does not care. And look at exactly where Lydia gets to because of that. I mean, yeah, it turns out okay for Jane and Lizzie, but that's because they're in this book. In real life, and this would all go south just because of that one thing. So yeah, I thought that was something to note. What else? I love Jane. Okay, every time I read Pride and Prejudice, I love Jane. I love Jane even more. I fall in love with her even more. A lot of people think of Jane as this naive character, but I don't see her that way. I see her as someone that's thoughtful, that's respectful, restrained, and she has her own values, and she chooses to look at life with optimism and to give people the benefit of the doubt. There's something to be said for that. So often, a lot of us we make snap judgments about people, but Jane, she does not do that. She always stays restrained. She always stays reasonable, and even when Mr. Bingley leaves and Lizzie puts all the blame on Mr. Darcy, she's the one person that says Mr. Bingley is his own man. He made that decision. Even if they influenced him, it was still his decision. And I thought that was so, so good. So good. I love Jane. I find her so reasonable and just such a great character by in Pride and Prejudice. Now, that's his proposal always. Okay, every time I read that, I'm like, oh my goodness. And this time around, I was like, Darcy, you are so rude. You are so rude. Okay, I don't even know why we look. I know what's coming. Okay, I've read this a thousand times, but still, I was like, Lizzie's a better woman than me because after that proposal, it's not. It's never gonna happen. It's never ever gonna happen. Okay, we are never ever getting back together. If you get the reference. And okay, I'm looking down because I have notes from volume 1 and volume 2 that I want to tell you guys. And then the writing. Okay, the writing here is such a masterpiece. Of course it's Jane. Of course it's Jane. We know what she's doing. We see what she's doing. But what I particularly enjoyed this time around, it's just that climax to the letter. When you get to that letter, everything's been building up. Everything's been building up. And then we get to this proposal and the letter. which is the denouement. It's brilliantly done. I was on the edge of my seat. I've read this many times. I know what's coming. Okay, I know what's going to happen. I know the back and forth. I've seen this a million. I've seen this movie before. But still, I'm still on the edge of my seat because she does such a great job with setting up the story, setting up the characters, so much so that when everything keeps building and when we get to this climax, this proposal scene, it just all blows up. And I love the communication. They're saying everything is on the line. Okay, nothing is off the table. The way she uses words, the back, the forth, and also it's almost like a drama. The way this person comes in, that person comes in, the dialogue is sprightly. It's just so good. It's so good. I love it. Okay, yeah, of course I love it. Okay, watch me kick out about Pride and Prejudice. It's Pride and Prejudice. And yeah, I think that is all I'm gonna say about volume 1 and volume 2. Now I'm about to read volume 3. And yeah, I definitely have been annotating. This is a book club pick. We are reading Pride and Prejudice, and this is the end. I'm gonna miss it, but yeah, so that's all I wanted to tell you guys just to start. Yeah, I'm gonna get into it and I'll tell you as we go on if there's anything I want to note. Just the way vlogs are. Just thought I'll vlog this last part, and yeah, because I love vlogs and I miss them. And I'll see you in the next clip. Okay. Okay, check in. I just wanted to talk about where I am in the story. So I am chapter 7 now, and Lydia has run away. Of course. And we are in the middle of that. Now, Mr. Collins sent his letter, and I am just like, you know what? I know that so often I've listened to a lot of people, read a lot of articles about Charlotte's marriage to Mr. Collins being a practical choice, and I agree. But it's also a tragedy because why am I saddled with a man like Mr. Collins, who is pretty kind, yes, okay, but he is tactless and he is ridiculous because this letter it's just a little crass. Why are you saying these things to me? Why are you putting that in the letter to people who are going through this kind of tragedy? Oh my goodness. Why? Why would you do that? And he even betrays Charlotte. He says some things, she's told him in confidence, and he puts it in the letter for Mr. Bennett to read. And I am just like, Mr. Collins, oh my goodness, what are you doing? What are you doing? Poor Charlotte, okay? Poor Charlotte. Now she can't even speak. She can't even tell him things in confidence. Oh my goodness, what a tragedy. And yeah, okay, in the beginning, of course, it was Mr. Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth meeting, and that was so sweet. I didn't even expect that I would feel that way. Usually, I don't know, I think usually when I read that part, it's just like, oh yeah, I know they make acquaintances, but I really enjoyed the tension. I thought it was very good tension, and actually a something that modern romance writers actually follow. That little, oh, does he still like me? Oh, he's doing all of these things, after the big fight, and then you're like, does he still love me? Oh, why is he being so attentive? Why is he being so nice? I did not expect that. I'm like, okay, this is good, really good tension. And I was enjoying it. It was fun. And of course, he got cut short by Lydia. Well, not Lydia. He got cut short by Wickham. So, yeah, Lydia and Wickham. But yeah, and Mrs. Bennet. Ridiculous. Mrs. Bennet, Mr. Bennet. Mr. Bennet, at least at this point, I feel like Mr. Bennet never learns his lesson. He learns it for like 5 seconds and then goes back to being this sarcastic, witty man. I'm just like, sir, take something serious. Please, please do something serious. Take something serious. Also, the kind of strain that comes with being an eldest daughter in this kind of household with a father, with a negligent father, and a ridiculous mother. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jane is going through it. She is. Oh, that poor girl. That poor girl. So, yeah, I think I really, really feel for Jane. And I also feel for Elizabeth, of course, but I truly, truly feel for Jane because she's the eldest daughter and she has to be the example for all her sisters. And yeah, the mother is just ridiculous. She's not doing anything. She's out here just making noise and theatrics. And, oh, those kind of people just upset me. Okay, they just upset me. So yeah, I know I can't stand the Bennets. I mean the parents. I can't stand both of them. Okay, yeah, I truly put the blame on Mr. Bennett more than Mrs. Bennett because Mrs. Bennett really, really just does not know any better. But Mr. Bennett does, and he just chooses not to do anything and is negligent. That's just wrong. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That's my check-in. That's my check-in, and I will see you chapter 7. I really might not come back until the end. Maybe when we get something significant happening. But yeah, I'll see you on the other side. We are losing light. We are losing the sunlight. So I really don't know. I really don't know what happened, but I'll keep going. Yes, you guys, I lost light yesterday and couldn't come back, but I did finish. But Prejudice. And so let's talk about volume 3. When I checked in last, I think Lydia has run away with Wickham. Yeah, and I enjoyed the whole tension and the banter with Lizzie and Darcy in Derbyshire and Pemberley. Fun. Fun. Fun, 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 fun. That was great. But then, of course, we have all of this eloping, whatever. Now, so where we are, Lizzie has come back home and she's waiting for, what happens next with Lydia. She must be married or else this would be a disgrace for the family and she'd be lost because, of course, back then young women couldn't just stay with a man. That is, it's gonna be a disgrace to the family and to all her sisters and all of that. And so they're trying to look for them and make sure that they get married so that all of this can go away. Because at least if you're married, it's your husband. And so then Mr. Gardner goes with Mr. Bennett and they try to find them, but they couldn't find them. And then Mr. Bennett comes back home and talks to his daughters and says, oh yeah, I should have done better. And then for 5 seconds, and then he goes back to being himself. Which, okay. and then Darcy saves the day and we get all the debts paid off. And now Mr. Bingley is back in town. And Jane and Bingley get engaged. Yay. Of course. I'm so glad that my Jane gets a happy ending. As you know, Jane is my favorite character in Pride and Prejudice. I love Jane. I think she's the most reasonable person and just the most developed character. I enjoy her characterization. enjoy her personality, and I don't care much for Lizzie. So okay, so that happens, and then of course, after Bingley and Jane get engaged, Mr. Darcy is around, and it still keeps coming around, and Lizzie's like, oh, does he like me? Does he not like me? Blah 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 blah. Ooh ooh ooh, and it's all that will they, won't they? Of course, we know they will. And yeah, they also get engaged. But before that, just in the middle of that, right after they get engaged, everybody starts saying, well, everybody, that Charlotte starts talking about the fact that Mr. Darcy and Lizzie will get engaged, because remember, when they were with her, she'd seen the interactions and she felt that, oh, Mr. Darcy really, really likes Elizabeth. And I think she says it to her husband, who says it to Lady Catherine, and then there's all of these rumors. And so Lady Catherine comes to Longbourn, and she comes to warn Lizzie of a nephew, which Lizzie refuses and says, no, thank you. I shall do whatever I want, whenever I want. You mind your own business, okay? And perfect. But what I'm about to say really is about Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins is just dreadful. And he sent a letter to Mr. Bennet saying, oh, congratulations on Jane, and also congratulations on Lydia being back. Also, she should have been dead. Sir, stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking, please. Which I already mentioned that, I think, in my last clip. But then, anyways, he then says, oh, Lady Catherine is very upset to hear that Lizzie wants to have something to do with Mr. Darcy. Could you tell her to hold off on that? So that Mr. Collins is none of your business. Okay, this is none of your business. How dare you? Okay. And then of course, Darcy hears about that and he thinks, oh my goodness, she still loves me. She loves me. She loves me. And then he goes back and he proposes, all of that, and they're together. Yay. But anyway, my point is, I'm about to read the letter that Mr. Bennet sends back to Mr. Collins, which is perfect. Perfect. At least Mr. Bennet is good for something, because I don't like him. But when he sends back the letter, dear sir, I must trouble you once more for congratulations. Elizabeth will soon be the wife of Mr. Darcy. Console Lady Catherine as well as you can. But if I were you, I would stand by the nephew. He has more to give. Perfect. Perfect. Also, the famous obstinate strong girl from this is from Lady Catherine the book, and when she says at the shades of family to be dust polluted. Hilarious. When she's so rude. Oh, she's so rude and condescending. I take no leave of you, Miss Bennet. I said no compliments to your mother. Okay. Okay. Okay, Lady Catherine. Okay, Lady Catherine. Slow down. But yeah, no, but my favorite part of this whole thing is my favorite on each character, Mrs. Bennet. As you know, I love Mrs. Bennet. Like, I don't like her as a person, but I love her for her chaos. Okay, she's just so chaotic and she brings the drama all the time. Every time she speaks, I'm just like, yes, this is just ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. Well, not ridiculous in a serious way. It's ridiculous. The thing is, Mrs. Bennet is one of those people that I think of as realistic. Just realistically clueless, really. Realistically clueless. Mr. Collins, I feel like will trouble me, but Mrs. Bennet, I just find her so funny. And so when Lizzie and Darcy get engaged and she goes to her mother, because everybody believes that she hates this man and she's now engaged to him, and now she has to go on a whole journey telling everybody, sorry, I don't actually hate him, I think I like him, I think I'm gonna marry him. And everyone's like, excuse me. But Mrs. Bennet has the best reaction. Listen to this. Oh, my sweetest Lizzie, how rich and how great you will be. What pin money, what jewels, what carriages you will have. James is nothing to it, nothing at all. I am so pleased, so happy, such a charming man, so handsome, so tall. Oh, my dear Lizzie, pray apologize for my having disliked him so much before. I hope you will overlook it. Dear Lizzie, a house in town, everything that is charming, 3 daughters married, 10,000 a year. Oh Lord, what will become of me? I shall go distracted. Mrs. Mrs. Bennett has three daughters. Honestly, the only person winning in this whole book is Mrs. Bennett. Because that is life. And then, after saying all of that, she then follows her to her room and then goes on again and says, "My dearest child," she cried, "I can think of nothing else. 10,000 a year, and very likely more. It is as good as a lord, and a special license. You must and shall be married by a special license. But my dearest love, tell me what dish Mr. Darcy is particularly fond of, that I may have it tomorrow." Now, Lizzie is her dearest love. Oh gosh, Mrs. Bennett. Mrs. Bennett. She's just, look, my favorite. I made a note and I wrote, Mrs. Bennett is my favorite crazy person. She's on inch and I love it. She's just hilarious. Yeah, I thought that was absolutely funny. And yeah, of course. Yeah, they got married, blah blah blah, and then they move away. And Bingley and Jane move away too from Netherfield because of Mrs. Bennet. Because do you really want somebody else on Insta in your house all the time? No, I hope not. I hope not. And Lydia and Wickham have all of their problems. Yeah, and so we ended with a marriage and happiness and Mr. Gardner and Mrs. Gardner. Those are also really good people. Mrs. Gardner is always a fun time. I love her. I love Mr. and Mrs. Gardner. I think they're so reasonable and so calm and so cool. Yeah, I love them. Cool people. And that was it. It was a fun time. I had a great time. It's Pride and Prejudice. I always have a great time. And see, that is Lizzie's quote. My courage always rises at every attempt to intimidate me. Yes. Of course. What else? Oh yeah, I have to read to you my favorite quote. I'll just leave you with that, and then we'll leave it when Darcy and Lizzie are engaged, and she asks him, "Oh, when did you start loving me?" And he says, "I cannot fix on the art or the spot or the look or the words which laid the foundation. It is too long ago. I was in the middle before I knew that I had begun." Perfect. And yeah, that is it. That is all. That is my review for Pride and Prejudice. Because I told you, this is 5 stars. Do you need me to tell you that? 5 stars always. always. I always have a great time when it's Pride and Prejudice. I always have a great time having Mr. Darcy. I always have a great time seeing Jane again. I always have a great time. Mrs. Bennet. It was a fun time. That is all for me for Pride and Prejudice. Now I feel like I have to read more books because yeah, I had a good time. Now I'm a reader again. So that's all for Pride and Prejudice. Really, I hope you enjoyed this little unhinged moment of me reading Pride and Prejudice and geeking out and telling you all about everybody in Pride and Prejudice and how I felt about them. Reading volume 3 is just wrapping up everything, and you know how it goes. We get married. We fall in love. We get married, we tell each other, we confess, all of that. And oh, how could I forget Darcy's proposal? "You are too generous to trifle with me. If your feelings are still what they were last April, tell me so at once. My affections and wishes are unchanged. But one word from you will silence me on this subject forever. We love a man that understands consent." Do it. Yes, we do. I love that. Okay, I love that. I love Darcy. I love how respectful it is. I love how modern it is. It's so modern. Because that is almost a modern concept to have somebody be to have somebody understand consent and say, yes, it is all up to you. It's between two people and we are both equals in this. Stop it. Okay, I just love it. This is why I love Pride and Prejudice. This is why I come back to it all the time. This is why it's the best book ever written. Okay. And yeah, that I just thought it was a lot of fun. I could keep reading quotes to you again and again. As you can see, I don't know what to tell you, but that was it. I had a great time, had a fun time. I'm gonna read something else. Yeah, I'm currently reading Thursday Mother Club, and I don't know if I might come you guys see back to you guys and do the book to movie adaptation and tell you, because there's a movie adaptation. Have I seen it? Yes. Was it good? I'm not saying anything. I'll keep that for another video. But yeah, I also want to show you guys something I have, because I know that I just read the Penguin Classics edition, you know, the black spines. But it's Pride and Prejudice. I have so many copies of Pride and Prejudice. I have this one that is illustrated. Um, the end papers, so cool, so cool, so cool. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that. I might show you in a video, maybe. That is all from me for Pride and Prejudice. I hope you have enjoyed this reading vlog. I just wanted to do something, you know, reminiscent of what I usually do. I feel like I love watching vlogs. I love watching reading vlogs. I love people talking about books. I love seeing the journey, and I love seeing people's thoughts in real time as they read the book. So that's why I love reading vlogs. I know they don't do as well sometimes, at least for me. But I feel like I'm just gonna keep on doing them. Will I still be doing in-depth reviews? Of course, of course, of course, of course. But it's Pride and Prejudice. What do you need to know other than 5 stars? I loved it. It was a great time. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching, for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. I will see you in my next video. Bye.